first Maul gets a hallway scene. Now he gets a cave scene.
And you know what?
What's next? Spybot gonna get a hallway scene? We are so glad that you're here. My name's Seth.
My name's Konnor.
My favorite comment is from Edwin. My favorite comment from last week is from Edwin831. Seth, do you think there is any relationship between Rookcast and canon and JodoCast from Legends? That's an interesting question. I think only a name. I think that's like, I think that they were just like, we're going to pluck that. Because, you know, they like to kind of pick and choose.
Yeah, little winks and nods.
Yeah, a little dusting. Because, I mean, JodoCast, he just happened to have Mandalorian armor. That was it. I went on a huge deep dive after, because I had Twin Ninjas of Destruction. And then that took me to West End Games. I didn't realize that JodoCast was created by West End Games. Did you?
No, but I did because you told me before the show.
Isn't that wild, though? Like,
so many things are made by West End Games, man.
We owe so much to that little gaming company. That's wild.
I know.
Like K.I.D. Mooney's birthday.
It was in a CD.
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. That just, but yeah, I think honestly, it's just a nice nod to Legends. So, but we'll talk more about Rookcast later. But I don't think that there's any relation to Jodo other than nice wink and a nod.
My favorite comment also from last week's stream comes from Gwem. Nicholas Kaj. I need to find the Emperor's holocron, the secret text passed down from the Chancellor to Chancellor, hidden in the Jedi library. But there's more. I only put the first one. You ever wait for this one? I'm going to kidnap the Emperor. I'm going to kidnap the Emperor of the Galactic Republic. Wait, the last one. No offense, sir, but Valorum was my favorite Chancellor.
With all due respect, sir. Chancellor Valorum was my favorite Chancellor. Do you feel that?
I know that my Nicolas Cage impression sucks, but I see you're in the chat, Gwem. I got to ask, why all the quotes from Book of Secrets and not from the first one? Anyway, that cracked me up because we talked about that last week. What did we even talk about Nicolas Cage for last week? I don't even remember what that was.
I don't remember, but I started going Spider-Man Noir. Then
Good times. Yeah. Okay, Seth, hit me with a little 1 minute review and keep it to 1 minute.
Oh my goodness.
I'm kidding. You can have as long as you need.
I was going to say, my goodness. So I think it's cool that, hey, Maul got to be in a show that's actually about him. That's
wow.
I know that's pretty dandy. But overall, I feel like I'm a little worried. We'll see. I know a lot of people really liked this. Really liked these episodes, but I'm afraid we're getting a little bit into Ahsoka territory. I'm kind of like, can we condense these a little bit? I'm just curious.
Ahsoka territory? You mean like
the back half of Ahsoka? Yeah, where it's just kind of like, I feel like that we could be compartmentalizing some of the stuff that's happening. Even though I'm kind of liking stuff, but at the same time, I'm just weary. That's all. I'm just kind of curious to see where all this ends up going.
I think that's been the story of the
whole show. Yeah,
so far,
yeah.
right?
I guess that's true. But again, the animation's amazing. Everything that's I'm seeing on screen and I'm hearing, I'm liking all of this. I'm just I am curious. I'm now more than ever not sure how this is all going to wrap up. If that makes any kind of sense.
Kind of interesting place to be in.
It is. It's and I know here we are. We're almost at the end, but
we're looking for clues. We're going to find the Declaration of Independence.
Yep, we are looking for. I'm searching the holocrons for clues.
Here with 2 E's.
Yeah,
we're here.
but yeah, I don't. Again, I'm liking what's happening. I'm just kind of curious to see how this all wraps up. Is it going to wrap up with a bow? Or is it going to be really is it just going to be leaving us hanging?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to be okay with it. Just being like, we'll just wait to see what happens next season.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that these 2 episodes had me more worried about that. I thought they were going to really have a nice bow on it.
Interesting.
But
okay.
these kind of just made me be like, okay.
Interesting.
All right, yeah.
Before I get to my 1-minute review, I want to say hello and goodbye to our friend Smilo Ren. Thank you so much for the $4.99. I unfortunately can't stay on the full stream. I'm at work, but I'll be sure to catch up later tonight. Stay cool, guys. You stay cool, Smilo.
Thank you.
Appreciate the $4.99, brother.
Very
Thank you.
kind. Yes. Before we started, we had a super chat as well.
We did?
I don't know if you...
Oh, we did.
Yes.
My goodness, you guys are already getting this going. You guys are crazy.
Yes.
With a 5 from Samuel Simpson. Hey guys, hope you're well. My favorite Disney Star Wars yet. This is the kind of thing I always hoped they would make. God bless, guys. You too. And
yes,
we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Maybe we feel the same. Maybe we don't.
Yes.
My 1-minute review for this one. I wrote it out this time because I had a lot of thoughts.
Oh.
So I know someone has commented last week that like, man, Konnor pulling out the phone was such a boomer thing to do. You know what? You're right. I'm just going to read this. Hurt people hurt people. After 8 episodes, MAUL Shadow Lord is finally locking in its thesis. In chapters 7 and 8, Call to Oblivion and The Creeping Fear, the visual, sound design, and action are all still so top tier. Brilliant. But for the first time, maybe, if I may be so bold, I think the writing might have actually rose to meet it. Which sounds a little meaner than I mean it, but it's a compliment, really, because the production has been so high quality. We finally get inside Maul's head and what drives him, what's broken in him, and it's presented as this haunting, almost tragic, and not almost, yes, tragic visual feast. It makes you sympathize with him, but the show goes out of its way to not ever let you forget who he really is. And that's what I really like about those particular moments, as we'll get to later. Like, I'd put it to you this way. I kind of want to give him a hug, but I also know he'd probably stab me in the back. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Everything's here. We have the Emperor's not the Emperor, although you could infer that. The Empire's tyranny, the Jedi on the run, fallen Sith, Inquisitors, and just a regular guy caught in the middle.
With his kid.
Yeah. And you know what? That is Star Wars, and whatever Star Wars DNA really means, I think this show has it. And for once, this season, slows down, breathes, and gives us a quiet, character-driven moment with Maul that really lands. But is it enough? Is it enough? Because even with all that praise, I'm still stuck on the same issue I've had from day one. Maul cannot win. We know his fate. We know where his story ends. And I'm still not convinced, even now, that there is a new story here to tell beyond what we could have already inferred with the material we've already had. So yeah, I'm enjoying the ride. But if they want to fully win me over, the finale is going to need to crank the writing up to 11 to fully match everything else they're doing in this show. That's what I got for you. So a lot of I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
Yeah.
The production, all of it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just that, right? Like we got a few moments in episodes 2 and 3 where I felt like, ooh, we got to really have,
we had tea.
What's that?
We had tea.
Tea?
Yes.
Yeah. That I thought you meant tea in like the colloquial sense. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Could be 2.
Yeah,
we got some tea. Yeah.
So, we had that moment with Devin, and that was really great. But these episodes, I'm like, wow, we're finally getting in his head.
Yeah.
It took till episode 8, but we're there. Right? And we made a bold claim here in the title of the video that I saw some folks taking umbrage with at the top of the chat. And I'm going to double down here. These episodes prove Maul is no better than his former master, Emperor Palpatine. What do you think, Seth?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I mean, again, as you said, hurt people. And we'll get, I think that we'll get into that, but I think that it's interesting that heaven forbid we try to turn over a new leaf. We just have to. I mean, bad is bad, and all they know is bad. So, yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, because the show does a really good job in these 2 episodes in particular. we get inside Maul's head. They make us
for the
wanna
first
feel
time
for
ever,
him.
really.
Yes, exactly. Like
Yes.
we're getting a very personal look, and I think we can draw a lot of contrast, a lot of similarities to other characters in the Star Wars universe that are in similar situations even. But there is something that makes Maul unique here that I'm excited to dive into later. But I will stick to my guns. I see him cap here from Tristan. No cap, brother. He's just as bad. He's just as bad. He might not have done as evil of deeds, but at his core, what drives Maul is very much the same thing that drives
unfortunately, he's like, he may not be a Darth. Like, I know he likes to say formerly Darth.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's he doing?
Right.
He's following in the footsteps of a certain someone.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And real quick, I don't mean to call you out, Amber, but I do just want to address this here. In what way? Kill count, not even close, right? We're going to get into really the weeds about this, but this is something Seth and I have been talking about a lot off camera about what we as Star Wars fans do. I think that we sometimes put too much stock in lore and history, Star Wars as a history. Again, this is not a fully nurtured thought, so bear with me, but I do think it's important to bring up here. As far as the story goes, the story and the writing is trying to tell you something. It's driving a very specific conclusion between or a comparison rather between Palpatine and Maul. And I think that the show is telling you, at least to a degree, that Maul and Palpatine are the same. And there's a reason for that.
And I was going to say, we'll get to it, but with everything, they're quick to remind you that he's still a bad person.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
we'll get to it.
But yeah, in terms of kill count, in terms of power scaling, all these other things, of course, Palpatine's still the bigger bad, but that's not really what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So
it's
that's
at the core.
Yeah. It's okay. It's all fun, guys. I knew you were all, it's all just fun. But you brought up a good point. It's something that I've been wanting to talk about on the show. And like I said, one of these days when I fully got the idea that's in my head, then there's an old saying that says, if I would write you a shorter letter if I had more time. And that's the case. One of these days when I have more time, I'll write you a shorter letter about this topic. I did see we got another super chat in here.
You guys are too kind.
You guys are too kind. We got the 11 from Forgive the Boomer. Here we go. Once again, for some reason, I put the monitor farther away from me. What am I doing?
You want me to scoot it out?
No, it's okay. Von X, just wanted to ask about a content idea, since I think you guys mentioned Seth hasn't played the Jedi games. Maybe it'd be a cool idea to do a playthrough together on the channel. Love your content. Go ahead.
One of my friends told me that all of our content would be so much better if you sat down and played KOTOR and I sat down and played the Jedi games. Because he was like,
right. It's such a blind spot for the both of us.
He was just like, if you do both that, you guys are unstoppable then. Because now there's nothing hindering either of you.
You guys, not that was the question, but you guys would be glad to know I did start KOTOR officially like this week because I got a new fun little device that I can play games on. Yeah. And I did start it. Yeah. I'm like an hour into the game. So hopefully, I know I said I was going to stream it and then a lot of life happened all at once. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I am going to play it so I'm more knowledgeable on that subject. Okay, before we go really...
Proud of you.
You're proud of me? Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Before we go super deep into the first... the meat and potatoes here we're going to start with our good guys, bad guys, worst guys, as Sam Witwer so eloquently put. I loved it when he said this, that this show is about the bad guys versus the worst guys. We're going to talk about all those homies, but I do want to check in with some of you guys in the chat because I'm seeing some disagreements, which I like. Bring them in. I don't think that's a problem from Agamotto that you can infer the end of Revenge of the Sith since we knew it was going to happen to everyone. True. That's absolutely right. But we are also 8 episodes into this one. And don't get me wrong, there's such a disconnect for me personally with this show where I'm like, I'm loving so much of what I'm seeing. It's just the core premise I don't think has fully fell in yet. Yeah. At least that's how I feel.
I'll just wait till the end. There's something I really want to talk about. Okay. But I'm like, well, I'll just wait till the end.
Okay. Yeah. But that is a good point. And I don't disagree with you. I think that they can still absolutely land this plane. If you've been around the channel any length of time, you know that we're not people who settle in on an opinion. We're happy to hey, we were wrong about that. Or hey, man, they land. And like I said, we're really liking everything. It just feels like they have not, there's something that hasn't clicked yet. There's a lot of good. That's all.
I think something has to tie back into the OT somehow to really connect that, really have that connective tissue to everything else. Yeah. if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it's going to be.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I see Siesta Boy's another great one here. Isn't Star Wars all about redemption? Darth Vader got it. Why not Maul? Interesting question. Save a lot of this stuff for the Maul section, guys. This is so good. I like it.
We're going to talk about that.
I like it.
Yes.
And then from Darth Revan, making an appearance. You guys are quite harsh on this show. You were allowed to be because it's your opinion, but I just don't think people used to hold quite so high standards for single seasons of TV. I agree and disagree. I think that overall, we're both pretty positive. It's just we call it when how we see it.
Well, the whole thing though too is like we now know this is not single season TV.
Yeah,
yeah. We know that this is building into something, probably 3 seasons.
Yeah,
if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So, but we went in thinking we weren't sure about this anyway.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think that coming from someone who has been an Obi-Wan Kenobi apologist for a long time. Like I'm more than happy to give the flowers to even shows that may not deserve it. It's just, for me, this show had an uphill battle to start for me personally. And I know for Seth too. Seth's not the biggest Maul guy.
Yeah.
For me, I know that like, I know all this guy's story. And so far they've not shown anything to me that I'm like shocked by. I'm like, yeah, I can the stuff with Devin is very interesting. And that is the most interesting thing about the show. But the show's not called Devin. It's called MAUL Shadow Lord.
Yeah.
I want to see, like, I know he becomes leader of Crimson Dawn. I know he's leading the Shadow Collective. I know that he can't win against Palpatine. I know how he dies. I know all of this information. So that's why I'm so critical on this show in particular is I'm like, you got to justify yourself some way. What story are you trying to tell here? And I think now we're getting little sprinkles about the idea that they had. What was the idea that they pitched? And I think we're starting to see what that is. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping by the end of it, we're like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
But so far I'm still like, I don't know, guys, we'll see. But I'm still having a good time. Like I'm enjoying the ride because the production is out of this world. So, and I love saying what we're small. Well, who doesn't, right?
Yeah. I was going to say, might as well just say it, that I think that this is probably the prettiest project they've ever made.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
This film, it's crazy looking.
Yeah,
like you can just say every frame is like literally like a painting.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, yeah. And not that you're saying this, Revan, but just another point on this. I think that we are too quick as a community sometimes to just go in one corner or the other. We don't hate it. We love it more than we hate it. Yeah. But it's like a little bit more nuance to the conversation. That's all. That's all. Yeah. Okay, I do see, man, a couple more super chats. You guys are crazy.
Yeah, you guys got to knock that off.
Carolina for starting KOTOR. Thank you. with the 20 for starting KOTOR.
Well, look at that, man. They care about you. Yeah. They care about your journey.
I will definitely report back when I get through the game. I am excited. I like it's the combat. The combat's tough for me, but I'm learning.
Point and click.
Yeah. Still learning. Yeah. But because of the device that I'm playing it on an Android device, and I will say, because I started on the Switch originally, I actually prefer how the Android controls are, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It makes the combat a little bit more palatable to me. So anyway, from Jar Jar's bathwater. I'm so glad you're back in here. Marak and the Crow really are certified Sigma Rizzlers. We shall watch their careers with great interest. I'm going to watch your career with great interest. Jar Jar's bathwater.
That's intense.
Yeah, I'm hoping that venture works out for you.
Yeah.
My goodness. Thanks for the 5, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
From Raludon Relum, I hope I said that right, for the 5. Interested, how's the research for all saber fights going? I have just watched a YouTube comp of Clone Wars 1 hour plus Rebels 1 hour.
Hey, so fun fact, you haven't seen them all. Hate to break it to you.
You don't think so?
I've watched those, and I've double checked. They're missing some. Just so you know.
Because that's next week. You're going to be getting a tier list of all lightsaber duels, including from this show. And my goodness, we went to an absurd degree where it's like, they're going to be some in there. You're going to be like, really? Yeah, it's in there too.
Yeah. So just so you know.
Because we're not going to get any of these comments this time where it's like, you forgot this one. No, we didn't.
I can't believe you guys forgot this one. It was the best one. It's my favorite. Yeah. So, yeah. No way. No way.
Oh, my goodness. So there you go. Oh, my goodness. And one more super chat in here from Pretzel Man with the 10.
Pretzel Man.
Thanks, Pretzel Man.
You like pretzels?
I do. Soft pretzel.
Oh.
Can't tear me away from it.
Can't tear you away.
It's good stuff.
Gotcha. I like a nice sourdough.
Yeah.
Pretzel. Yeah.
That's good too.
Yeah.
You know, it's just bread, but you like boil it first. That's how you make a pretzel. Isn't that neat?
It is neat.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. My first time catching live. This is the best Star Wars channel on YouTube. My goodness.
What?
I don't know about that. Yeah. I've been enjoying MAUL Shadow Lord, but I do kind of agree with the more nuanced feelings y'all have so far. Love y'all. Well, we love you too. Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are too nice.
Yes, you are very kind. And thank you for the kind words. Like, we're just a couple of simple men trying to make their way through the universe.
Yeah, we're just jiving.
Yep, just trying to, I guess, simple creators trying to make the way through YouTube.
That's it.
Yeah.
Are you including Gindi fights?
Are we including Gindi fights?
If it's on screen and it's canon, we excluded video games. That was it, because video games, like I know there are some that are cinematics, but
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think you're going to be disappointed. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
That's
it's a fun video.
Yes, it's fun.
Okay, but we're talking about MAUL today.
Got another.
We did. My goodness, that's the book. That's the book.
What book?
That's the book.
What book?
That one. The one with the super chat.
Okay.
That's the name. That's the book.
Oh, okay. That's all it says is that's the book?
That's the book.
That's the book.
That's the name. That's the book.
That's the book.
That's the book.
Got it.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
No game fights. Sad. Again, how would you rank those? They're not like...
Yeah.
See, I should have known. We were still going to get those comments.
Exactly. It's like, man, dude. Oh my gosh. Star Killer versus Darth Vader. How's that? S tier.
S tier. That's the one. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
MAUL Shadow Lord.
We're back.
We're back. Here we go.
Let's talk about overall thoughts, or do we want to do the good gods?
I think because we really want to we all want to talk about the stuff with MAUL, because there was some cool stuff with MAUL. So let's just get it out of the way. Let's talk about those homies.
Yeah.
The good guys. Lots of good dudes to talk about. We got Daki. We've got Lawson. We've got Lawson's son.
Riley.
Yes. And Two Boots, and maybe Devin. Does Devin still belong in this one? She's teetering the line.
She is a little bit, but I would still say she's a good guy.
Yeah, she's still a good guy.
Yeah. She hasn't bled any Kyber yet.
True.
Yes.
That's really what would push her over.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
The main thing I wanted to talk about, and I admit I stole this thought. Hopefully I'm going to add a little bit to it, and I cannot give credit to where I stole the thought because, frankly, I don't remember. I think it was on X, so that's my bad.
The wasteland that's known as X?
Yes, I know. There was a discussion about Daki and how Daki, in a time of peace, would have been a great Jedi Master.
Yeah.
And so Daki is saying all the right things, but he's constantly wrong. Like, oh, let's go hide out. The only people we know here that are kind to us are the Lawsons. Let's go. We need to go take refuge with them because they'll help us.
Yeah.
The Inquisitors come and burn down their whole building.
Yeah.
And so it's like things like this keep happening because of his direction.
In his defense, though, he doesn't know a lot of like the moving pieces. He doesn't know that like that they're going to bring Inquisitors and stuff like that. He doesn't even realize. Yeah.
No, he doesn't know
how much heat's on him.
But as far as Riley is, as far as Devin is concerned.
It's true. It looks like he's just making wrong choices.
Exactly. And so not out of some teenage rebellion does she look toward MAUL.
Yeah.
It's out of practicality. Like, my master this isn't working anymore.
Yeah.
The Empire is here. I have these abilities. MAUL is the only one taking the fight to them. And he's kind of making a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
Maybe I should listen to what he says and say, I should adopt a new perspective. Yeah. And so I've grown to appreciate the way Daki is written as a foil to MAUL, where, again, he's not wrong. It's not like they took the easy route where he's just this arrogant Ponkrell type.
Yeah.
No, he's trying to do the right thing, but he's just doing the right thing in the wrong time.
Yeah. Or like a Yoda, where it just seems like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, don't you kind of get that vibe that like Yoda seems wise, but then once you've watched them all, it's like, dude, take a step back, Yoda, and realize like what's going on. You're kind of dooming everybody because you're so like into...
But Yoda also course corrects the minute he needs to.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So Daki is he like one random picture saying he is very Yoda coded, but he has I appreciate that they've not made him some arrogant, like he's not. Because every time some other character makes a different suggestion, he does go along with it, even if he disagrees. So he's a very likable, very agreeable character. Yeah. It's just that his methods aren't going to work this time around. No, and so I think that's really interesting.
I like what you said, that he'd be a great Jedi in a time of peace. Yeah. But unfortunately, in a time of tyranny, it's not really the old ways. They need to find new ways of doing things.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So he did tell Devin he didn't tell Devin to steal a speeder. He told her to buy transportation, which I get. There was some, reading between the lines there maybe, but
we could talk about that though. How heinous is that he pulled that dude into the lat? Yeah, here he is being kind of passive for the most part. And I just was like, dang, that just seemed very brutal to me for but maybe, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Could be. Yeah.
It just seemed crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt very MCU, that whole sequence.
The chase sequence?
Yes.
I liked it personally. Yeah. The speeder chase?
Yeah. With Devin rolling up and just be like, you need a ride. It just felt like Black Widow. And yeah. And then everybody else kind of felt like Star-Lord and Captain America in the car with her.
I got more Attack of the Clones out of that. Okay. Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw David Collins, the brilliant sound designer for MAUL Shadow Lord, and amongst other things, voice of Proxy and Spybot. Funny enough,
my favorite.
Mentioned that was one of his favorite scenes to mix because there's a lot of diegetic and not diegetic music. Because you had that pumping, EDM coming out of the car. Yeah, I liked that. That was a really cool way to keep the momentum of the chase going and. I just thought it was a really well executed sequence. Yeah. It's just, I'm trying not to take for granted how excellent the camera work and all the production is in this show, because it really is unreal. Yeah. What they're accomplishing.
It's true. Look back at the original Clone Wars and then look at now. Yeah. It's crazy. Heck, even look back at Clone Wars Season 7 and look at this.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Leaps and bounds better.
And I've never been the biggest fan of Clone Wars animation. Yeah. So the fact that they were to make that as beautiful as it is, dang, good on you guys. You have grown so much. Yes. My goodness, you've grown.
I was about to say, Annie, how you've grown.
And my goodness, what am I seeing here? What is this? Wait, actually, what is that? Is that that's a sticker? You could put those in here? That's awesome.
Is that a Shiba Inu?
Yes. Yeah. I think it's a samurai, right? Yeah. It's got sparklers.
And it says, "You're amazing."
You're amazing, 212. Thank you so much for the 50. My goodness.
1200, you're amazing. You knocked that off. Okay. Thank you.
I think I saw another one up here too. Amazing. A 2 from J. Ray. It's Chew Boots. Not is it? Did someone pronounce it that way?
Chew Boots. With his accent, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clap for 1200, everybody. He's too nice.
Yes, that's very kind. Goodness. You didn't need to do that.
Yeah. I didn't even know you could do stickers. That's fun. My goodness. Yeah. Needs to be a level in the upcoming racing game. That's a cool idea in Galactic Racer.
Well, I would want that speeder, at least.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where would that go on the tier list?
That speeder?
B?
I don't know. It kind of just looks like a station wagon.
Yeah, it's kind of fun though, right? Yeah. It's like a little, I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, it's too bootlicker. True. Although.
Hey.
Yeah, but hey, corrected. Said, but not anymore. But not anymore.
Whoa. Because I think he earned his 2 boots back.
I think he did too.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Good on him.
Yeah.
He saw the error of his ways and he decided to do something about it.
Isn't it wild that they confirmed that the chief is dead? She gone?
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But Riley just got off scot-free.
Yeah. I think it's because he didn't know anything.
Well, no, I think that yes. And then it's it worked once. You'll eventually lead us back to them.
Right.
That's why why they did that.
What about Lawson? Any thoughts on Lawson this week?
I think it's really interesting that he's paralleled with Maul. Because Lawson's real selfless with what he's doing.
Yeah, true.
Yes. All he cares about is Riley. All he cares about is family. And I think Maul is being selfish with his family.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
That's true.
We'll talk more about that.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely right.
No, but Lawson continues to be a standout for me.
Yeah.
I think he's awesome.
No, I completely agree. Yes. And he's what I'm most curious about going forward. Mm-hmm. Where does this guy land? Because narratively, as terms of Maul, as far as Maul is concerned, I think he served his purpose.
Well, he's not going off planet with him.
don't think so?
Well, is he gonna hang out with them? Is he gonna join the Shadow Collective?
Maybe. That's what I'm curious about. Like, for real.
There's always a spot for you at Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
Law, son. Law.
I think he and Riley are so interesting about where they can go. In fact,
do you think Mom's showing up in the next episodes?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That could be a...
I feel bad for Riley that I feel like he's just getting dumped on all the time.
Well, we got a question about that actually from one of the homies at home. We have from Chris. Where do you think Riley will end up by the end of the story? Thanks, BTTS. Thank you.
Yes.
Where do you think Riley ends up? Because again, I think this is one of the most interesting.
With his mom, probably. He gets picked up. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
And then maybe that's the whole thing is, I think that there's going to be lots of splitting up from our party, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so maybe Lawson ends up having to go with Maul. Maybe.
I think that's it. I think Lawson has to go with Maul.
Yeah.
And there's
gets out of there.
Some deal that needs to be made. Like, you need to go with your mom. It's the only way, even though that's with the Empire.
Yeah.
So that's where I think.
Yeah.
Where I think he goes.
But I like him a lot.
Yeah, they're great characters.
Yes.
They did a good job of making me care about all of them.
Well,
which is kind of rare for a new Star Wars show, especially one populated with so many of the Jedi Sith type characters. You know?
And it's interesting too that when you really sit and think about how little Maul actually is in his own show, that it's like, oh, you were able to keep them that interesting. That you're not just going like, man, can we just get back to Maul? Like,
True.
Come on. But I'm interested in their story as well. I do think it could be a little tighter in spots.
Yeah,
I do think maybe somehow we could have gotten rid of an episode. Maybe.
I completely agree. But, yes.
Yeah. Just there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had another one from one of the homies at home about Uncle Docky from MacMan. Uncle Docky cooked or no?
Super cooked.
He's so, yeah.
It's not even a question.
He's a deep fried dinosaur, my friend. He's
Sorry.
out.
Sorry, my friends. I'm sorry. I think I'm predicting that he dies pretty early on in the next 2 episodes.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Did you see that?
Well, go ahead.
Stupid video they posted last night. It's like a minute and a half of the show.
I wish they'd stop doing that.
I wish they would
all
too.
The projects.
Guys, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, this is something new. And I'm like, this is longer than 30 seconds. And I'm like, why am I? And I just scrolled past it. And I'm like, this is stupid. Why are you showing this much of this?
Yeah, that clip of him fighting the AT-AT. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. ATST.
Yes.
Excuse me.
It's not even
Sorry.
that.
That's
it's
what
a different type of walker.
I know.
Yes.
The walker.
Check walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a compilation made on one of the subreddits that I'm on. It was like, hey, here's all the unused footage from everything we've been from trailers, clips.
Yeah.
There's kind of a lot. Like, man, what are we doing?
I disagreed with what you said. I don't know. I think there's some that they had in there that I'm like, I think they've used that.
Yeah, but they've
that whole AT, it's all around that fighting that walker. I feel like that's the majority of what we've seen.
But there's also that big fight.
Yes,
there's so big that's in the daytime,
yes.
like whatever that is.
Yeah, that they're all. He runs up the wall or whatever, and
yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I wish they wouldn't show all that. They're doing the same thing. They do it with everything, but like Mando and Grogu putting out clips.
Yes, why
like Zeb and him and the speeder.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we just save it? Can we just save it?
Yeah.
What happened to like Burger King commercials where we're like Darth Vader staring off against the king, which they are doing a collab, which I'm like, man, it kind of hit me in the nostalgia a little bit. I'll be honest. Yeah.
Maybe we should start wearing crowns.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. Maybe that's it. So those are good guys.
Yeah.
Other than Devin, because I think maybe we can have more to say about Devin in the Maul section.
Gotcha.
But she's kind of, I think she's teetering right now.
She might be.
Yeah.
Does Two Boots survive?
Ooh, no.
You think he's going to go down?
He's cooked.
He's cooked.
He sacrificed himself for Lawson.
Yeah.
I think he goes out kind of like K2SO maybe. Like
truly earns his 2 boots.
You need his clearance. He gets in to bring Riley to his mom, something like that. I don't know. If I had to just spitball
I do think it's
prediction.
cool that Lawson like put his faith back in him.
Yeah.
You know, talking to him on the inside and everything.
He's just a good dude. Like Lawson's just a good dude.
I mean, kind of. We don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But what we see.
Yeah.
Dare I say? Let me make a crazy comparison.
I like it when Konnor makes crazy comparisons. What you got? Am I going to agree?
You're not going to agree, and I don't really agree. But like, it's a start. it's a starting point. So just wait until I'm done before you make the judgments.
No, it's fine. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. So what'd Santa get you?
Oh, sorry. He kind of reminds me of an Uncle Iroh in a way. In the way, shady past, done a lot to try to correct that, and is sort of our moral compass for the show. I don't think he has the depth of an Uncle Iroh, but you see what I mean? Like kind of taking that spot.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because even like an Uncle Lawson for a Devon, perhaps.
An Uncle Lawson. Yes, I was going to say he definitely seems like that. The stinky part is that he hangs out with Daki so much. He never really gets a chance to like pass on any knowledge. Like Iroh gets a chance to talk to all of them.
Right. And that's why it's like it's a soft. It's a starting point to the conversation because what you just said with him hugging Two Boots, me like, yeah, I've always believed in you, Two Boots.
Yeah.
I knew you guys were going to give me crap for this. IDK, this was some big shoes to fill. They are, and I'm not saying they're the same.
Big
I just
boots,
think that there's
if you will.
Right. I just think that he is the moral compass for our characters right now.
I really do hope that we get to see what exactly it is, like his shady past or whatever. We get a little bit more insight into that. Yeah.
About like the bounty hunter stuff. I think it is in the comic, right? But you're not reading that.
No, it's... What do you mean? It takes place on Janix. It takes place like weeks before.
I thought that was they didn't talk about him being a bounty hunter in those.
They talk like a little bit about it, but I want to know like more so of like what's going on. Why did his wife leave him? What's the shady stuff that's going on? Do have one last question. Do you think that we'll get a prequel story with him and the Last Jedi he teamed up with?
Oh,
because how cool would it be if it was Baylan Skoll?
That's one of those things that it would be fun, but it's like that criticism Star Wars always gets. Like the galaxy's too small.
I know. Like it would be kind of cool. That he, like,
it would be kind of fun.
Yeah, that he hung out with some like really random Jedi that like we know all like about later. Yeah, just a thought.
That'd be fun. Anyway, that'd be fun. Yeah. I do see we have one more question from Matt Green with the $4.99. Thank you so much. Question: what's your thoughts? Will Lawson end up dead, become a rebel, or join Maul's gang by the end? I think he's not dead. He joins Maul's gang reluctantly. That's my prediction.
I think that, that's probably the only spot for him. He's at least with them. I don't know if he's part of the gang per se, but I think that he does end up with them. Yeah.
That's where I'm at with him too. There's our good guys. Leaves us in an interesting place. But we also, in addition to our good guys, we have some... some bad guys. Some Spybot, some Rookcast, some Vario.
Yes.
Not a lot to talk about with these guys because this is more Maul-centric. Go figure.
Yeah, I know. Finally.
Yeah.
It's more Maul-centric. What do you think, though? Rookcast going to make it?
Yeah.
Rookcast not going to make it?
She makes it. I think she's like the last loyal person to Maul.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think she gets cut loose by the end of this?
Oh, get cut loose. Not dead, but just like...
Yeah. I think so.
You think so? Like willingly, like Maul's like...
I think that's getting to my predictions for next couple episodes. But yes, I do think that... So, I read that they call her Lady Cast.
Right.
And I don't know if that's just being polite because Maul calls Ahsoka Lady Tano. So they could just be being polite. But that could also imply that
it was the Mandos doing it, though, right?
It is true, and then the Cast family is like one of the royal families of Mandalore. So I could see him just basically cutting her loose, and that's why they follow her, and that's why they could become the Children of the Watch because they're staying loyal.
And she's the armor.
Royal, yes. They're staying loyal to a royal house of Mandalore, and then she can ultimately become the armor because I think that she has to become the armor. Yeah, I just don't think that there's any other way that she can't.
Especially with all the Mandalorians being like dead by this point.
Yes. Yeah. That she's just hanging out with loyalists essentially. Yeah. Yeah. Well, loyalists and mercenaries, but they got what came to them.
Yeah, I personally don't see her, at least not yet. I could see that eventually. Yeah, I think she sticks around at least while Maul's trying to capture Crimson Dawn.
I think that they have to make the trade. I think that he's got to go with Dryden, and then in turn,
why can't Rook come with?
I don't know. I have it in my head that I'm like, he can't have all of it. You got to have sacrifices. It's the last episode. Okay. So I just feel like that you got to take everything away from him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. I'd have to simmer on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that they do have to separate at some point, but I don't think yet.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
Okay.
I don't know. What about Vario? What do you think about Vario? He's kind of fun. I'm glad
I think he's great, and I'm curious what kind. Like, I feel like I'm Gandalf. That I feel like that he has a role to play still further on.
Vario still has a role to play before this is all said and done.
It's all done. But I think that he'll have to help them capture Crimson Dawn. I think that he has to play into that somehow, some way. I'm just not sure how that's going to work.
Interesting.
Yeah. Why? What do you think?
I don't really have any. I think he was just the vehicle to get us to Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious, but I think that I don't think he's done. Especially, I think the time to get rid of him would have been last episode, but he fell off the little landing platform.
I think he's just going to be that goofy little guy that just sticks around way longer than he probably needs to.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason to get rid of him, and he's not there long enough to be annoying. Yeah. So I think he's just a fun little guy that sticks around.
I like him. I don't know. I really liked the whole him carrying that box and being like, oh, look, you're back.
Yeah.
It's good. Making the snide comments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's much needed levity.
Oh, right. Yes, definitely.
I see from Agamotto with the 5. Wish Icarus and Scorn had been slightly more developed before this, but love the Savage Maul parallel that was made. Still hit. Yes, and I agree with you here. And this is kind of coming back to that central critique I have. There's a really good idea, I think, at the core of a lot of this, but the ideas I think are most interesting are not developed enough. However, that could just be my own expectations, because I think where this show really cooks is in the small little, like a look here, a shot here. And so the fact that they don't develop Icarus and Scorn perhaps is enough and the point, because you can infer. I love inferred storytelling.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you get enough with the whole like brother, and then like it cuts back to Maul's face, and it's like, I mean, that's all we got, or that's all they need. They just filled their purpose.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
I 100% agree with that. And I think that, so I'm of two minds. In one way, I wish they were a little more developed, but I also love that they're not. So I know I'm a walking contradiction today, because I know I'm going to hear people say like, what do you mean? You're just saying like, you want to see more about what's inside these characters' heads. But yeah, it's I guess with Maul, I think I need a little bit more meat on the bones, but I like the stuff surrounding Maul being a lot more show, don't tell. I mean,
the show is called Maul Shadow Lord.
It is.
I would like to see him being the Shadow Lord.
And he does get to be the Shadow Lord from time to time. Honestly, with a lot of these critiques, I said this last week, but like the pacing felt like really weird. Yeah. Like you've been saying, take these 4 episodes from the last 2 to these 2. Yeah. 2 episodes. Yeah. I think we have a lot tighter of a story.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. I don't think that you need to be playing so much cat and mouse and having everybody separated. I think that you could get them back together much sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with
mean,
that.
nothing, but yet you could still, you could condense some fights and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, you're right though. It's a lot of like cat and mouse. Do this thing here.
Well, we got to get them
boom,
separated
boom, boom.
so that Maul can have a conversation over here, and then so the Inquisitors can be over here with these guys. And it's kind of like,
and it's crazy because like, I love everything that I'm watching. It's just, I don't think I've ever watched a show quite like this. Yeah. Where my overall thoughts are like, man, I don't know about this, but like just watching it
while you're watching,
like, this is awesome.
And it's funny too that like here I am kind of giving it a hard time at the top, but like, gosh darn it, I was excited when I opened my eyes Monday morning. Yeah. Yeah. That was like, ooh, new Star Wars to watch. Right. Yeah. So I'm enjoying myself. I don't want you guys to think that it's like, oh, Seth, he hates Darth Maul, and then that's it. He's going to hate this show.
You
no,
hate
I do like it.
So you hate Spybot?
Yeah, Spybot now has all my hate.
That transferred as an essence transferred to Spybot.
It's true.
You know what's funny? Talking about that, I think I feel the opposite about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I think I finally just figured this out.
What?
I like the overall what they're trying to do with Obi-Wan Kenobi, but while I'm watching individual scenes,
you're miserable.
I'm like, I don't know about this, guys. I don't know about the execution. So I think that because like story is king in my mind. Yeah. So like separated from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, I'm remembering those things I really like. Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, overall they really cooked. Yeah. Whereas Maul, I think as I come away from the episodes, I'm like, man, overall that story, I don't know that it's hitting, but when I think about individual scenes, I'm like, gosh, they were cooking. Yeah. It's so weird. It's like an opposite thing. I'm glad somebody's with me. Pretzel Man, my opinions on Maul Shadow Lord are completely the same as Konnor. Worded my thoughts perfectly. I'm glad we understand each other.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Actually, I love this from Darth Maul's legs. And what a better person to bring this up. I think it can be summed up as a completely unnecessary show, but it's so well done. You just can't hate on it. That's so true.
So far, I feel like we'll see.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to spoil the thesis that we had at the very beginning.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. The hurt people.
Yes.
By the way, just because I saw this here, a big shout out for the 138 of you here in the chat. My goodness.
Thank you.
Thanks for chilling with us
Yes.
on a Wednesday evening. Hopefully everybody's having a good time.
Yes.
And did I miss? I think I missed. I did from
Guys, you need to knock it off. Thank
Pretzel
you.
Man.
I appreciate it. Pretzel Man with more.
Speaking of small shots, the detail of Maul's tear dropping in the puddle, showing the Zabrak who just died from Maul's face, is absolutely brilliant, dude. We'll talk about that. We will talk about that.
Oh, yes.
But yes, the cinematography is out of this world.
Yes.
And also, Denbu's Seth, how does it feel to be vindicated that Marok is actually cool, especially his design now being widely appreciated? You have the floor.
Oh my gosh. He's awesome. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And what I like too is now that everyone's just like, he's basically a Star Wars Batman. I really like that. I mean, the whole thing too, I had a conversation over the weekend about this because someone asked me how I felt now with him. And I was like, I just thought he looked cool. And I thought it was neat that he was an enchanted piece of armor. So the first time around. Yeah. So it is cool that now we're getting more context. I am nervous every time he pulls out his lightsaber. I'm like, this is it. He's gonna die. Like he's gonna get killed. But now I'm kind of starting to think maybe he won't die. I don't know. I think out of him and the Crow, I think he probably will die out of the two of them.
It's interesting.
But,
I wonder if I think they could go either way. I like if they don't explain anything and we could just chalk it up to Morgan Elsbeth doing something.
That's ultimately what I want. Don't explain it. Just let him he could pop in and pop out and that's it. We don't need to see him again. Yeah. I'm perfectly fine with that. And he's just out there because gosh, we're missing that in Star Wars. It's just that mystery with some characters. It's crazy how
I agree. We explore, and this again, that's part of my issue with the show.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
We don't need to explore every corner of someone's life.
It stinks because like literally every waking moment with Darth Vader has pretty much been explained now.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Outside of his bathroom breaks, like we know everything.
Yeah, I know all about it. I've got footage from all of it now, or like some sort of other media, like whether it's a TV show or a video game or a novel. It's crazy. Comic book. Yes. But like, so I just hope that they leave Marok. Just, you don't need to answer
as an enigma.
He's an enigma.
Yeah.
Yes.
Completely agree.
Yes.
I see. My goodness, you guys are. They're keeping on going. They want more Inquisitor talk from Agamotto.
They want more Inquisitor talk?
Yeah, I'm seeing 5 here. Marok Crow are so awesome that I'm even more disappointed in the other Inquisitors minus maybe Grand. Should always be scary. Better late than never. I agree.
Should we just start talking about the worst guys?
Those guys?
Man, I don't like him that much, but that design is like
it's sick.
It's crazy.
It's really
like
cool.
It is crazy looking. Him with the glowing eyes. I thought for sure when Maul pulled the rocks down, I thought he was missing an eye. Like I was like, man, that would have been cool. That like I thought that only one of the eyes was glowing, but I was like, oh, never mind. He's fine.
It's pretty cool. It's really, really cool.
Yes.
I also see Siesta Boys. Another Jedi Knight has joined us.
Oh, thank you.
Try not to be tempted by Maul, Siesta Boys.
Exactly. You must stay vigilant.
Vigilant.
In these dark times.
Exactly.
Yes.
But thank you so much. We really appreciate that. From Nerdy Seb with the $9.99, I really appreciate Maul's vulnerability, and I'm drawn to the idea of him battling the light. We know the outcome, but seeing him in the situation makes you strangely want him to win. I agree with everything, but him battling the light, I don't think he's
a Kylo Ren.
No.
Or a Benjamin Solo.
But you do want him to win.
Yes.
And in part because of his vulnerability. I completely agree. Yes. Thank you so much for the $9.99. I really appreciate that. These worst guys.
Yes.
The Crow. So we know about Marok. Marok's cool.
Well, no,
he's the Dark Knight. He's Batman.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. That shot is literally like, if you couldn't, I swear they just watched Dark Knight. And like, because I mean, that is literally a shot when he's in Hong Kong. Yeah. With Dark Knight and Marok's chilling on that building, like pulling a Daredevil, like just listening to the city.
Yeah.
Like,
it's cool. That's probably what same what we're just in Dave Filoni. Yeah. Like sat down and we're like, listen, Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Maul.
Yeah. Just
Do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm just sad Michael Caine's not here.
Man,
That would've
who
been
would he
awesome.
have played?
I don't know.
Docky.
I don't know about that. I just
We have to stay inside, Devin.
listen. We need to go down to the tunnels, and then we'll find our friend Larson.
It is your voice I hear, but Maul's words.
Exactly. Once saw Ruby, big as his head. Once saw a piece of kyber as big as his head.
Some men just want to see the world burn.
Exactly. Some men just want to watch Janix burn.
Worst Michael Caine impressions you guys have ever heard. Presenting Michael Caine as Spybot.
Oh, yes.
Shiny impies.
Exactly. You're going to get yours, little kid. It's like,
Oh my goodness.
nah.
Give me Tales of the Inquisitorius, where they all just slasher villains hunting Jedi. That would be cool, Agamotto. That'd be cool. And thank
Or
you so
like
much for
how
the
they
5.
became the Inquisitors, but still, I like the mystery. Because we did get that with Paris, and it was terrible.
It was, yeah.
So
Mixed bag, those Inquisitors.
Yeah, so maybe we don't want that. Again, I think less is more. Just
Yeah.
that they're, I will say too, I really like how the spinning blades are used in this show as opposed to the other shows.
They're not used to fly. Yeah.
I'll get to that later. But just the fact that like they're used basically to create distance.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
A lot. Rather than just slowly walking down a hallway, following Ezra and Sabine.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Again, I think we mentioned this last week, but it almost parallels Maul,
Yes.
who's a master of using his saber, and this
Yeah.
is like a cheap copy.
Yeah,
A
I
cheap
think.
industrialized copy.
Yeah, I think too that again they're using it where it's like, okay, we can little quick reset,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Where this thing's spinning, all right, just let me collect myself for a moment because I
Right.
mean he's fighting two people at once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
agree. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for the 5, Agamotto.
Thank you.
And from Billy Bob with the 9.99. It's what's up, guys? Dropping in to say hi. Can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts on these peak episodes. Well, we've been told we've been a little critical.
Yeah.
Although I still think best episode so far. I say yes.
I don't know. I'd have to sit and think about that. I don't know.
Why do we fall, Maul? So we can pick on shelves back up.
Exactly.
What is the point of all those bloody
Push-ups.
push-ups if you can't even lift a bloody log? I turned into Penguin there for a minute. Sorry. From Dinboos with the 5. Funny in a show all about Maul, the Inquisitors actually managed to steal the spotlight. Just need Bosk's sister to show up now. Love y'all. I recognize that name somewhere. Dinbo. That's it. With his crazy opinions on Bosk's sister.
Oh,
You remember that?
that's in the Discord, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The
we had to send pictures of us reading the Bible to remind him what the good book says.
about Bosk's sister,
Not about Bosk's sister, but,
but about the things he was implying.
Yes. Thanks for the 5. Okay. So it's not just the worst guys aren't just the Inquisitors; it's also the Empire.
That is true.
And hey, Lieutenant Blake getting
Yes.
blown up.
It's true. Did he get blown? Oh, yes, he did get blown up.
Oh yeah, he totally
Dude,
got
that I don't remember. What's Lawson's friend's name? I don't remember her name. But that point of view shot's wild.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was. I'm
Yeah.
like, were we playing Doom?
Yeah.
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 So it's cool.
Sorry, the cool blue lightning bug. Sorry, I talked out of context there. Denbo, the lovely gentleman there who provided us with the 5 super chat, has some salacious opinions on Bosk's sister, which shall not be uttered here.
Yes.
So,
If you venture into the Discord, only pain you will find.
yeah. No, that's not true. In fact,
No.
our wonderful mod, Duel the Cates, hey, Discord mention, check it out. It's a lot of
Yes.
fun in there. I'm not in there
is.
as much these days. I apologize. I've been so busy, but sometimes I catch a conversation or two, and y'all are always up to something fun. Every frame of the show is hella artsy. Dude, it is.
Dude, the opening
POV
shot of the store with the Star Destroyers, or the
Oh,
Star Destroyer
yeah.
chilling over Janix, like,
I get a print of that. That looks
yeah,
great.
that needs to be on a playmat. I know you don't play card games as much. But
Yeah.
yeah, that needs to be on a playmat.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I agree. That's pretty
Yes.
cool.
It's good stuff. I said it last week, really like how the Empire is presented in this show.
Mm.
I just really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like how the Inquisitors are handled. I love the idea that, the Imperial engine made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
And they're not even sure exactly what they're doing with these guys. I'm here for it.
I think this is all about, they are nailing everything from just a feel standpoint. Does that make sense? Like how Star Wars is supposed to feel?
Yes.
They are nailing it every step of the way.
Yeah. Again, I know you liked it. I feel like the part that has felt the least Star Wars to me has been that little chase scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the only thing that I feel like I was like, this just feels a little different to me. Feels a little off compared to everything else.
Yeah.
But that's it.
And Noah, I completely agree about it. Getting good reviews. It's been so nice that everybody's just having fun.
Yeah.
And I know that we're kind of being I don't want to say Debbie Downers. I hope that you guys could see the nuance in the conversation. We're still liking it, but we're all, I think it's still good to provide healthy critiques and stuff, but it's nice to see everybody like, man, this is cool. And even forget my dumb critiques. Like I just said, this feels like Jennifer Corbett, who wrote episode 8, and Filoni, and I'm forgetting the showrunner. Is it Brad Rao who's the showrunner? Whitwer. They all get it.
Everybody's on the same page.
And so if this is the worst they ever do, we are in good hands and we are eating good, because this is really the first project that we've seen by, this team.
Kind of the new team.
Yeah. This is like the new team coming out. And like, if it only gets better from here, we're eating good. Yeah. Even if it's not quite as good as this, we're still eating good. Yeah. So
the care that's going into it is very nice. And again, I like how we're leading into episode 4 with this kind of I like that it's feeling kind of like episode 4 with how things are getting established and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I will also give them credit that especially with some of the live action shows, some of them are so phoned in. Yeah. With the production in particular. Whereas again, I feel like some of the writing sometimes can be good. It's we're just falling back on the volume and doing this and that. And granted, I know a lot of that is COVID era stuff, but even still, the animation team has always knocked it out of the park. And I feel like they have reached just a new height and set the bar for all of Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And I actually feel bad for Mandalorian and Grogu having to follow this up. Yeah. Because I'm sure it'll be good. At least I hope it is. I don't know. You guys know I'm very skeptical about that movie. But I hope it's awesome. And then even if it is awesome, they have to follow up MAUL Shadow Lord and this A-team. But they've got Favreau. They've got Pedro Pascal. They got a Brendan Wayne. So I think they can still cook. But it's like, man.
Filoni was there helping.
Yeah. Yeah. Just MAUL Shadow Lord has just set such a bar. Mm-hmm. And now you guys got to clear it every time.
It's true.
So there's been whispers behind the scenes of a new Tales. Yeah, supposedly with Luke Skywalker, there's some whispers going on. I know nothing beyond what I just said, so I don't know.
Haven't there always been whispers of a Luke Skywalker show?
Well, these come from some credible leaks. I don't know. But anyway, they now have to match this bar. It's like, I hope you guys can do it, because this is crazy, right?
But that's kind of nice. Now they have something to aim for, rather than just like, gosh, just give me something that was better than the last thing. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate we heard from the beginning, before the show came out, that Maul was like, Filoni was like, hey, level everything up. Everything can be better. Yeah. Animation can be better. Performances, mocap, all of this, or not mocap, but like just, character performance, I guess is what I'm saying. All can be better. And they took that and were like, bet. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's cook.
Which is cool.
Inquisitors, not much else to say other than they're scary. Final thing, do you think we got confirmation who Marok was talking to last week?
I don't know. I mean, he does say that, the Emperor wants you dead. Yeah. Yeah.
I still think it's Vader. I'm leaning back toward, but I think Vader got on the call and was like, hey, I'm sending you to the Crow. The Emperor wants him dead. Get it taken care of.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't think Palpatine stoops himself. Although a season 2, I wouldn't mind Palpatine showing up. Yeah. And because Maul has to get some win, right? Yeah. Yeah.
You want to talk about your fan theory?
My fan theory. I told you before the show. Yeah.
I don't know. Or do you want to save that for his
I'll save that for how to do this. If I don't bring it up, someone remind me in the chat during our final segment where we talk about our predictions for next week. Before we move on to the meat and potatoes here. Yes. The real meat and potatoes.
The main event.
Yeah. All about Maul. Yeah. I did like this from Smilo. The Scythe is the Inquisitor's company vehicle, confirmed. The Scythe is the thing that the Crow comes in on.
Yes, because I was like, well, that's either the Grand Inquisitor or, it's got to be one of them.
Yeah, because that's what they're driving in Kenobi.
It's true.
I don't like the look of that ship. I think it looks weird, but
Yeah.
Some continuity is nice, though.
Yeah. It is nice.
Hey, real quick, I'm going to make this fast. I know we're all waiting for some fun stuff with the flashback because we got a little name drop in the flashback. Do you remember who got name dropped, Seth?
A couple people got name dropped.
Who's okay? Other than Big Daddy Palps, who was the other one? Kenobi. And so, guys, real quick, from our friends over at Audible, if you guys have not checked them out, check out our link below. But just 1 minute review. Have you read this, Seth?
I've not. Good stuff, though, from what I hear.
I listened to this on Audible a few months ago. This is narrated by Jonathan Davis, by John Jackson Miller. Slow burn, but my goodness, is it good.
Better than the show?
Yes, and I think, but man, don't get me on that tangent because I think I have strong opinions.
1 minute,
on what
1
people,
minute, 1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. So if you were watching this and you need some more Kenobi after seeing that green lightsaber and that blurry face, check out audible.com/BTDS. Get yourself a free audiobook on a free trial and check out Kenobi. If you're not going to check out Maul Shadowhunter, check out Kenobi. It's a good book, but it's a very slow burn, but I'm telling you, it's worth it by the end.
Put together a puzzle this weekend and listen to some Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is that good? I hear good things about it.
It's interesting so far.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to keep going through it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you for Audible for hooking us up with that link. For the folks at home, check that out in the link in the description down below or audibletrial.com/BTDS. Okay, it's time. We got to talk about him. Darth Maul, formerly Darth, just Maul, or otherwise colloquially known as the community as... Anybody seen that Freddie Prinze Jr. clip that's ridiculous where he's like, learn your Greek mythology?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, Sisyphus, if you don't know the story, the Cliff Notes is the story of Sisyphus. He pushes the boulder to the top of the hill only for it to roll back down, and he's doomed to repeat the cycle.
Continue doing it over and over and over.
And like Sisyphus, Maul has been doomed to suffer the same fate. And I think it's a very apt comparison. He continues to fail.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of you guys wrote in some questions that I think great way to start this conversation. And the first one here from Cree: does it bother you that Maul can't achieve the goal of revenge and we know he dies? So I want to start off macro Maul. We get Mike, we get inside his head.
Yeah.
We get that. Let's start big picture with Maul.
Big picture. Okay.
His goal, we've known it from the beginning of the show. He wants revenge on Palpatine.
Yes.
And of all the people who wronged him, including the Shadow Collective. He's kind of got that. He's done, sort of. He's got Dryden, but okay.
Yeah.
But what about this revenge on Palpatine?
Yeah. What do you think his plan is?
I don't know, because he does imply, he's like, if you come with me, I will review how I will do just that.
Or is he lying? That's the whole thing.
I think he has a plan.
Yeah, because we know his plan in Clone Wars was, let's take Vader away from Palpatine before he even gets a chance to have an apprentice. Anakin.
They are the same guy. So I've been told.
Yes. Let's take Anakin away from Palpatine before he can have a new apprentice.
Right.
He's not still thinking that, right?
I am very curious. I still think Vader is a surefire shot. Yeah. If not a fight, he's going to be a cameo by the finale, and he's going to be a main focus in season 2.
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying that since the beginning, that he was going to be like the focus, like it'll be like Rebels, that he's going to just show up
some sequel
end.
bait. Yeah, I think now, as we're getting closer, I think you're right. Mm-hmm. I don't think he knows about Vader or that Anakin is Vader.
Okay.
At least I would be surprised if he knows that.
Gotcha.
I think he thinks Anakin died in Order 66.
So, does he know about the Death Star?
It's interesting. Do you think that was in the works even back when Maul was part of the grand plan?
I don't know. That's the whole thing that I'm kind of like, because he has to have an angle. He has to have a way, because surely it's not just, I'm going to be a crime lord and build up my empire. He's tried that once, and it got all taken out from under him.
Sisyphus.
Exactly.
He's trying it again because he can't learn.
No. So you don't, but he did learn. Because he didn't just do that. He then tried to team up with Ahsoka and then tried to go fight Palpatine. Yeah. So he did try something else.
I get you.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
I think his end game is he wants a one-on-one with Palpatine. Yeah. And I think he needs an apprentice to do that.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the Sisyphus thing. He tried it with Savage, but he kind of got caught unawares. Now he's like, okay, not this time.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight you because that's the Sith way. It's all he knows.
Yeah.
He cannot perceive of any other way to live his life other than outside the bounds of master and apprentice.
Yeah.
So in a way, he's a dark foil to Ahsoka in the grand Star Wars scheme.
It's true.
Whereas
I felt like there was a lot of parallels with with Ahsoka in this.
Well, Ahsoka is burdened by the shadow of Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. So too is Maul by the shadow of Emperor Palpatine. Yeah. But yet, Ahsoka wants to leave that shadow. Maul wants to become it.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between the two.
Yeah, because I think that's ultimately the kind of the thesis for the show as a whole. It's like, what are you willing to become in order to get to your end goal?
Yes.
Yeah.
What will you become?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So it's very interesting to look at like Maul versus a Vader and a Dooku, because he is unique in that way. And so to come back to your ultimate question, or your previous question that was about the Death Star.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of
Palpatine's plan.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of things that he could possibly know about that could shake Palpatine to the core.
Well, he knows Palpatine's a Sith Lord, but do you think that matters?
Does it though? That's the
I think they could always play.
Who's going to believe him? I mean, that's the whole thing at that point. So he can't just come out and say that.
And there's also the thing from the Revenge of the Sith novelization where they confront him about that in his office, and he's like, "I'm allowed to practice my religious beliefs. Who cares?"
When did that become illegal?
Yeah. So the Death Star would be an interesting angle, but that's been covered ad nauseum in Star Wars with Andor, Rogue One. I don't know how he gets in on that.
Yeah, and
but it is an interesting idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, this was just something, because if you like in Crimson Dawn and Crimson Reign, Crimson,
Kira?
Yes, it's Kira. I was trying to think of what the, because it's not Crimson Dawn. Oh, no, maybe it is. I was trying to think of the two comics. I know it's one after another, but yeah. And War of the Bounty Hunters, all of that with her. You're kind of, it is Crimson Dawn that like turned the rebellion on to the fact that there's another Death Star. Between episodes 5 and 6, but I don't know if they would, have that together.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. I'm just trying to think of that.
Yeah, what is his? I know I'm with you. It's like, how can he win against Palpatine?
Yeah, what's his
mind?
angle? Like, what could be his angle? And then what's Palpatine doing right now? He's working on the Death Star.
Yeah,
everything's all the Death Star right now. So maybe, I don't know. Or
Maul just strikes me as extremely practical.
Yeah.
So I'm going to build up this rival to the Empire to take on the Empire in that way, militarily, if you will.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to go one-on-one and fight this guy, because that is the Sith way, and that's all he knows.
Yeah.
So I saw Desmond say he doesn't want a 1v1. Why not? I think that's what he wants. I think he's trying to build himself up. That's why he's training and trying to get an apprentice and trying to get more and more power so that he can take out Palpatine.
I was going to say too, I think the thing that he's fighting against, it's an uphill battle. I mean, he's a lot like Vader in the sense that he's missing a lot of his body.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the same connection to the Force that he once did.
Right.
Yeah. So,
but it is interesting. I don't know.
His legs are full of Night Sister magic.
I forgot about that. You're right.
Yes.
From Agamotto here, we have another 5. Maul will be the reason Palpatine has a cane in the OT, going to take out one of his kneecaps. Maybe that's it.
Here's a random thought. Do you think that Devin's going to fix his leg?
Oh, I don't know. Does she show any mechanical aptitude?
I mean, she can drive anything, it seems like. So that's why I'm like, well, maybe she can like work on his servos or something like that. I have no idea.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of, well, how are they going to fix his leg? Because he can't go into fight. We know that he's going to fight a couple more times before it's over. He can't go into the fight hurt, because that's why he lost the first time around against the Inquisitors.
Well, I know you hated that clip that they released. I did too, but he does kind of shake his leg around because it's still hurting.
Oh, maybe I didn't get that far in it.
Yeah, I thought that happened at the beginning, but I could be wrong.
Maybe, I don't know. Again, I'm just, was it sparking?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Gotcha. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just trying to think of like,
well, he's got to be fixed.
Who's on his team that could fix his leg, seeing as how, because his other brother, Spybot. Why wasn't Spybot working on it before then? Okay.
I don't know. It's my.
Well, there you go. Well, we can add that to Spybot's repertoire.
He's a medical droid.
He's a medical droid. Look at that. Well, I guess that like Maul's legs aren't exactly,
Hey, don't talk about him like that. He's in the chat. Darth Maul's legs.
Darth Maul's legs.
From Matthew Green with the $4.99. I feel like Maul is more of a Tantalus than Sisyphus. Everything he desires is so close, but it's just out of reach. Remind me on Tantalus. Freddie Prinze Jr. would be disappointed in me. I don't know my Greek mythology well enough.
He'd be yelling at us going, haven't you read your Greek mythology?
Haven't you read your... Here's my angle. Here's what Seth was alluding to earlier. Here's my horrible fan theory. Please no.
No. Why would you subject them to this?
Just for fun.
Because you threw it at me before the show started. I was like, I hate that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It is.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Yeah. How can Maul get a win?
Yeah.
Because we know he can't kill Palpatine, and we know he dies.
Yep.
We also know Palpatine's working on some clones.
Yeah.
So what if Maul kills Palpatine? But then it's like in Age of Ultron, where Palpatine's clone just walks out and is like, hey, I got more of those.
Yeah.
So actually, the Palpatine we meet in the OT is just a clone.
Horrible.
It's terrible.
But what if Maul killed a clone rather than the original?
That would be kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. That would get very like
Force Unleashed.
Yeah, that'd get like very
trippy.
Legends.
Yes.
That feels like a Legends story.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. I'll be honest.
It's like having your cake and eating it too.
Yeah. Like if he fought Palpatine that ended up just being a clone, like you can't beat me.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be here.
I'm eternal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't, they'd be walking a fine line, but I could see that being fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's time for you to leave. I didn't say it was going to happen. I just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Because you think of things. That's the whole thing. Because you're going through things in your head. You're like, man, I hope they don't do that. Yeah. You're just sharing that. I hope they don't do that.
Yeah, that's all. I'm just getting it out. Let's just get it out there.
Goodness.
I'm going to let you down. I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying. Shadow Lord is so good, but TBH Tross tainted so many Star Wars shows. I would be surprised. Right? It's like infected everything.
All roads lead to Tross.
True.
And we
even have a shirt on about that on our show.
Start paving that road, guys.
Yeah.
Even early on.
It would be insane. It would be.
It would be.
I was throwing it out there. It's not impossible. It's like maybe 2% possible that it's going to happen. 40%. Just throwing it out there. Just
maybe.
Out there.
You never know.
So that's the macro when it comes to Maul and his goals. And I do think there's something interesting about that. Like, what is his plan? I don't know.
Yeah.
But now there's the micro. Seeing inside his head in what's going on. And once again, I have to point to one of the folks at home. Very poignant comment here from Justin. Flashback scene, nostalgia bait, or character development? Honest thoughts on that.
Can we work before there? Can we work up to that?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. You don't want to answer that just yet, huh?
Yeah, let's just, okay. I do like the fact that when they get pinned down by the Inquisitors, what's he do? He looks at Rook, and then he goes and he kind of does like a heroic thing. They're kind of like, oh, is he like turned over a new leaf? Is he going to go fight the Inquisitors himself? And it's like he's leading them away because he knows that like they're definitely not going to be able to get to the ship if the Inquisitors are there. So I like that. Okay. They beat him up. He uses the Force. And then I absolutely hated him doing the 630 spin into the into the bridge.
Didn't like that?
Hated it.
The Palpatine callback?
Hated it.
Why?
How does that work?
What do you mean? How does that work?
He is spinning like this at essentially at a wall and somehow got through it.
I don't know if you knew this, but lightsabers can cut through things.
Exactly, but I mean, like you're flying very fast at it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a little bit of like force. I mean, you hear the Force scream, and I'm sure there's
Konnor, what's a Force scream do?
Huh?
It breaks defenses. It doesn't break walls.
A wall is a defense.
I guess anything's a defense then at that point. A ship hull is a defense.
I think it makes sense. I mean, even the corkscrew, like
I hated it.
Doing this motion that cuts out a hole for him to go
that's
through.
Ridiculous. I checked out.
Of all the things to be upset about,
no,
come on,
no, Quinlan, I'm not tripping. That's ridiculous. He's falling. He's falling and doing this. No way. That is think about that. He somehow cuts his way through. He's hitting the ground.
Fine. Let's for a moment.
He's hitting the ground.
Let's take you at your. It's silly. Do you like the thematic tie here? He's doing a Palpatine thing.
I guess
it even sounds like him.
Maybe, but also he's made that noise several times in the show so far.
He has. It's been
and he's done it. I was gonna say he does it in the in Clone Wars against Ahsoka.
Could it be because they're trying to create a parallel between Maul and Palpatine? Because maybe Maul and Palpatine aren't so different.
They're the same guy, maybe? And maybe that is it. I don't know. Again, I wish they would have come up with something like they had him do like a Star Killer or something like that, where he force pushes it before he then gets buried by it or something.
I think it's implied he does.
I just don't like this.
Happens.
That he's like, and he's able, he smashes everywhere. They're like... He's flying at an incredible speed.
Oh my goodness.
Ridiculous.
Okay.
We're there now.
Okay, so we're back. So
we're in the tunnel.
Maul is damaged.
He's in his cave. This is his cave moment.
Yes.
Yeah. He's damaged. He's punching himself like Kylo Ren.
Right.
Yes, and I think that is the first hint that he has not changed.
Yes, he's still calling upon the dark side.
Calling upon the dark side to get him through it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we get a little bit of backstory. I think this is what I'm surprised with the Star Wars community. Don't get me wrong. Very cool scene. But didn't we kind of know all this, right? Like
what, the training? Or what?
That Palpatine was so brutal to Maul, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing to see it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just seemed like I saw a lot of people so surprised.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I kind of expected that, you know?
I had to rewind it because I thought he called him Mr. Palpatine. And it reminded me of Spider-Man, where it's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Palpatine. Ah! He gets electrocuted in his master. And it reminded me of of Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Calling everyone Mr.
It's for people who didn't get to the end of Clone Wars. Yes, probably. We've heard Sam Witwer say that a lot. Like, you don't need to watch anything. And that's true. Although, if I may, to call upon another fan question here, not this one, my bad, this one right here. Missed opportunity to not show Grievous strike down Talzin.
Amen. Why are they not acknowledging Son of Dathomir?
They did briefly in episode 3, but this would have been the time. I understand. Like,
just show it.
They did plenty of new sequences.
Yes.
And what's weird to me is that he does mention that earlier in the show.
Yeah.
So why not show that extra knife twist?
Yeah. I mean, and they even talked about it too. Like, he kind of alluded to that, like the wounds, it wasn't the deepest wound at the beginning of these 2 episodes when they're walking down the tunnel.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That probably was Mother Talzin and his brother getting killed.
I didn't think about that. That's interesting that he didn't bring that back up.
Yeah. So it's like, why is that not there? Just get a shot of Grievous doing it.
The only thing I thought is like they were really honing in on Palpatine specifically.
Yes.
But then you also get the shot of Obi-Wan.
Yes.
So I'm like, maybe they didn't want to end. I guess because they were going in chronological order, it would have to end with Grievous killing.
Yeah. Talzin.
Yeah. So maybe you just needed that final shot of Palpatine killing Savage, which, by the way, just the visual storytelling of Scorn being killed right in front of him and hearing Icarus go, brother, that was excellent.
Yes.
Really, really excellent.
I think it was Icarus that died.
Was it Icarus that died? I thought it was Scorn who died.
I thought.
I don't know. It was
Icarus is the big one, isn't he?
I thought Icarus was the small one. I could have mixed them up. I don't know. It's fine.
It's fine.
Let's go back to our question here from Justin. Flashback scene, nostalgia bait, or character development. What do you think?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that what is important about it is I think if you look deeper at all of that stuff, it shows you that he's not a good person.
Yeah.
It shows you that that is the true way of the Sith. And that is the danger of the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're quick to remind you.
Yes.
Of things.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll go character development.
Okay.
I liked the sequence. Like I said, I found it very unsurprising, but it was heartbreaking to actually see it. I mean, a little kid Maul getting electrocuted is horrifying.
Yeah.
It's the scene after. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm surprised they didn't show him getting tattooed. In Legends, they show that in this comic. Actually, they show Sidious going through and tattooing him.
I was reading about that earlier today. I think in canon, that's a Night Brother thing, not a Sith thing.
Oh, well, in Legends, it's just red. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just reading about that today.
Yeah.
I think it's actually the scene after that is the most compelling to me. Not the flashback sequence. It's when he falls into the water.
Yeah.
He sees his reflection.
Yeah.
And it's the line. This is what got me the most during these episodes. And I was like, okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now here's something to chew on.
Yeah.
And it was him saying, it's all right. It's all right. With the tears streaming down his face. I was like, okay, we're getting some actual character growth here.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that moment because it's such a, how do I want to say? It is not like, and I know what you're thinking already.
Oh, yeah.
It is not Anakin crying. Although it might be
I think it totally is.
I think they are crying probably for the same reason.
Yeah. Anakin is crying. They're both crying for the death of, they know that they can't go back to that.
Yeah, the death of their former self.
Yes.
And I agree.
Yeah.
However, there's something a little bit different about Maul. Like, it wasn't his choice.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so sad about seeing Maul shed that tear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am the devil and I can't not be. Like, I can't go back to this. I can't go back and save you.
Yeah.
How horrible. Whereas Anakin, when he tearfully, laments his own demise, the demise of his own soul there on the bridge on Mustafar.
Yeah.
He is lamenting the death of his former self, but it was by his own choice.
It's true.
It's a huge difference. And it is what makes Maul unique, even from every other Sith that we've seen in canon.
Mm-hmm.
Dooku's the same way. He makes a choice.
Yeah.
So it's
interesting.
It's interesting.
I don't know. My thought though too is like Maul is saying that, this isn't going to happen again, but like, again, it's that whole, at what cost?
Yeah.
What are you willing to do to make sure that this doesn't happen again? And are you just talking about Sidious manipulating somebody else, or just that like Sidious just needs to go away altogether?
And here we come to the thesis: hurt people. And that title of the video, the title of today's stream being "Maul's no better than Palpatine." He says that. Yeah. But he's a hypocrite. And that's what makes him so tragic in this moment.
Because, going back to the flashback for a moment, what do we see? Obi-Wan's not swinging a blue lightsaber. What color lightsaber is he swinging?
It's the green one, his master Qui-Gon Jinn.
It's crazy. What just happened to his master at that point?
Yeah.
Maul killed him.
Yeah.
I think that they are very clever in what they showed us and making us realize that he's still not a good dude.
Yeah.
Because he finds his brother, much like he could have walked away with his brother, but what they choose to do? They chose to go
path of revenge.
Yes, create the Shadow Collective, take over Mandalore. They made too big of waves, and Palpatine decided to do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they in fact became a rival.
Yes.
Yes.
What's sad to me about it is how the tragedy and why I think that he's no different. Like you said, I think they were very intentional about what they show.
Oh, yeah.
So we feel for Maul in this moment, and we do. I think that we can lament with him.
Yeah.
That there is a future that he never got to see. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, like you said, Maul had, because you could argue with Qui-Gon, that wasn't really his choice. He was a tool of Palpatine. You could argue that.
You could.
But after that, when he comes back during Clone Wars, you're right. He continues down this path.
Because it's all he knows. It's all revenge.
He knows.
I was going to say, that's the whole thing. Is it's the path to the dark side.
He is burdened by the flame of revenge, and he always will be.
It's
but
true.
Notice one more parallel. And here's my checkmate, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing we see in the flashback is Palpatine lighting him up, electrocuting him, torturing him. Yeah. And then he tearfully tells his former self, I will never let him do this to anyone again. What does he do in these very same episodes to Devon? Now, he doesn't electrocute her. No. Because that's not his MO. But he manipulates her. He lies to her.
A new apprentice. Yeah.
And he forces her to draw her blade. And he's, so far the second time now, drawn blades against her. He is continuing the cycle of abuse himself. Sure. And we even see a trickle of how he's infecting Devon, where Devon, by Daki's, through Daki's training, should be it should be protecting Riley. Yeah. But sips a little bit of Maul's Kool-Aid.
Yeah, she wants to go fight.
And joins Maul, thus leaving him vulnerable.
Yes.
And so like the cycle continues. The cycle continues and continues and continues. And that's why I think that Maul ultimately is no better, because he's not changing anything.
It's true. And it's interesting too that, you think, it's so interesting that all the people under Sidious kind of end up similar, like, except for they all get manipulated, but like, look at Maul, look at Vader, look at Grievous. They're all former shadows of themselves.
Yes.
They're all missing pieces of themselves.
Yep. Ooh,
yeah. They're
cooking. Okay.
Yes,
Listen.
yeah. I was going to say they've all been broken and then put back together through Sith science and technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just
Sidious broke all of these people down.
Yes.
And so I hope, and this is my hope for the end of the show. And as the show goes forward, I think Devin has to turn. Otherwise, this show will feel pretty fruitless.
Yeah.
Has to. I hope that Maul doesn't let up. He needs to continue being evil.
Yeah.
And we need to see him be more and more Sidious-like.
Yeah.
And that's what will make his tragedy so much worse. Because what separates him from Vader? He's never known anything different.
It's true.
And we also see his end. We see him in Solo.
Yes.
We see him in Rebels. He's the same guy. A little crazier in Rebels, sure.
Yeah. How did you feel about this showing the vulnerability with how we've seen him be vulnerable at his death?
I loved it.
Did you love it?
Yes.
Did you feel like it took away at the end of Rebels, though?
No.
Okay.
Because this was a private moment.
Yes.
Between us and the audience and him.
Okay.
Now, if this would have been some sort, I don't want him to act like that with Devin, with Rook.
Yeah.
No way.
Okay.
But having this private moment to himself to show us, like, I'm fighting for this. This guy's never going to get this. I'm going to take him down. That's what I want to see from this character. So again, that's the tragedy. And I think, as we've been saying, they were so intentional about making sure it's like, okay, you can feel bad. You can shed a tear for Maul.
Yeah. But don't forget.
Yeah. Because at what point, you have to get to a point, if you've been in a position, God forbid, like Maul, you can't blame everything on your past.
Yeah.
You just can't. You have to, pick up your cross and bear it at a certain point. And that's what separates a Vader and a Maul. Vader ultimately gets to the end and says, like, okay, I got to make the right choice here, right?
In Vader's defense, though, too, he has something to fight for. That he had something pure. He had love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Vader still had to make an active choice.
He did. Yeah. And I'm just curious that, like, with the vulnerability, that I thought that there was something special with Maul finally showing his vulnerability the moment that it's all over. As opposed to now we have, it's been sprinkled into his story now a little bit. Yeah. So that was one thing that did come to my mind, that I'm like, I hope it doesn't, I hope this happens sparingly.
I agree.
Because again, I don't want to ruin that moment in Rebels, because I think it's awesome. Yeah.
The moment of vulnerability. And but however, I think this built on it in a nice way, because what does he say in Rebels? Like, he will avenge us.
Yes, exactly.
He still wants that revenge.
That's all he
Sidious.
knows. Yeah, that is all he knows. Is, I think, at the point in Rebels that it's like, I can't beat Palpatine. Well, I can at least beat Kenobi, right? Surely I can beat Kenobi.
Yeah.
And even on his deathbed, that's all he wants, is he wants to be avenged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see here, Newsies Mario has Maul drawn his saber on here before. He did. Both times. He
gave her one. Yeah. And then also when all the TK troopers attacked the first time, that he like kind of keeps walking towards her and tries to get her to.
He draws her lightsaber for her. So now I think what Maul will do, so that he can justify to himself that he's better than Palpatine, I don't think that he will abuse her physically.
Yeah.
Necessarily. And I think that in his mind, that makes him better, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
He's still twisting her and he's giving her no other choice. Again, notice the manipulation earlier in this episode, or both of these episodes, in the tunnel. As soon as we get to my camp, you're free to leave as you wish. Yeah. No, she doesn't have any choice.
No, you got to walk with us now.
Just like Maul didn't have a choice to go with Palpatine. So again, he's no better. He's no better. Yeah, Palpatine's got the Death Star, has a higher kill count, all of that, power scaling, blah, 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 blah. But narratively speaking, and just at his core, Maul, he's
just like his master.
He's just like his master. And he could turn face, but he won't. And he can't.
He can't.
He can't.
Not at this point.
I would absolutely hate that if the show tried to turn him and then turn him back.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I like that you've shown me why he is the way that he is. Now
double down on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Double down on it.
Mm-hmm.
So really interesting. And I'm glad we got this look. I really am. Mm-hmm. We needed this. We needed that peer inside of Maul's mind finally to see what makes him tick. Again, nothing all too surprising, but it was how vulnerable he got, allowing himself to shed that tear for his younger self.
And it was weird. This morning I thought of that. That was like the parallel with Vader. And I'm like, I thought that was so strange. That I was like, dang, we saw him cry. Like, what was the point of that? And I'm like, wait, he's not the first Sith Lord we've seen cry. Mm-hmm. We've seen Darth Vader cry. So interesting.
Yeah, it's very pretty interesting.
And I think too that's why they let it happen.
Yeah,
really, is like we've seen it before. We can draw a parallel between the two.
Yeah, I mean
because I think that there's lots of parallels between the Vader and Maul.
Yeah,
when we really start looking.
Maul's unique in the fact that he was raised by Palpatine, and I hope that they continue to explore that. That was one of my wishes for the show, and now that we got a taste of it, I want more. I want more of that. Plagueis
doesn't really go into that very much. You just know that he's training him. Yeah, that he goes and.
But what does that do to someone?
Yeah,
that's a very real thing. Unfortunately, you can see
you're a product of your environment.
Yeah,
yeah,
and I think that's what they were drawing on here is that. Maul comes from an abusive household, for lack of a better term, or actually that is the best term. He comes from a abusive household, and oftentimes, unfortunately, people who are abused become abusers themselves, and we can feel sympathy for them, and we can talk with them and hope, but it does get to a point. It's like you are the arbiter of your own actions. Sisyphus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think what's a more interesting question maybe is what was the intervention point? When could Maul have been saved? Right?
I think it's when when he's with Talzin, she fixes his.
You
legs.
think so?
Yeah.
You think that late in the game?
When do you stop him before then?
I think
stop him on Tatooine.
I think maybe there's a world where maybe he could be intervened sometime in the Duel of the Fates.
Oh my gosh, Konnor.
You don't think so?
He's in like full rage mode at that point.
He seems pretty calculated.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's on a mission. At that point, that he's just like, all right, man, he's stalking Qui-Gon like he's, a lion.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, he's...
Okay, maybe I'm not phrasing the question right. At what point do you think that if he could be saved, then, you could start to erase the trauma that Palpatine created?
Again, I think that if he could have lived with his mom and like on Dathomir, and with his brother.
Okay.
I think that or Mother Talzin, I don't know if they're actually, I was going to say, he gets new legs, then they could have worked together as a family to overthrow rather than him going off.
But then that's still a path to revenge.
It could be. Yeah. I don't know. But again, you're at least surrounding yourself with a family.
Yeah.
And everything rather than, treating your brother like crap.
I do think that's probably chronologically the last time, that you could get through to Maul. And,
yes.
It's so sad,
Mm-hmm.
You do want to just kind of pluck out little Maul, give him a hug and point him in the right direction. But unfortunately, little Maul grew into big Maul, who's not a good dude.
No, not a good dude at all.
So I'll be interested to see how they handle this story going forward.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting from Biggles Man. I think now is the only time he could be saved. He had to learn the value of family and lose it to understand. Maybe if we didn't,
he's still on a revenge path still.
Yeah, but if we didn't know his end, that's interesting.
Yeah,
but they have to be cognizant of the fact that not only obviously do we know Maul's end, but we've had so many redemption stories in Star Wars. Yeah. So how do we double down?
The other thing we do know, because we know he's going to become the Shadow Lord of Crimson Dawn. It's literally what Plagueis was going to be to Palpatine.
Yeah,
is that Dryden will be the face of Crimson Dawn. But Maul's really running it from the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't think that's going to be a very nice transaction between the two of them. Let's be real.
I was more saying, yes, we do know that. I'm saying I think overall the showrunners have to be cognizant of the fact that obviously we know all that has to happen, but also we've seen so many redemption stories.
It's true.
And they've gone out of their way on the press tour to say Maul's a bad guy.
And I was going to say,
he's real bad.
He's a bad dude in Rebels. He blinds Kanan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tries to manipulate Ezra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he just knows he knows nothing else.
It's true.
He knows nothing else.
As you said, that hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people hurt people, and that's really the thesis of the show. I think with that out of the way, it's time to move on to what we think is going to happen in that finale. We say this for every show. Can they stick the landing? Seth, what do you think?
I don't know. It seems like they got a lot to do before it actually wraps up. It just seems like there's a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm kind of concerned about.
I'll admit, I think I let my own expectations get the better of me when I started this show. I thought this was going to be pretty contained.
Yeah.
I understand they announced season 2 before we started officially with season 1, but I thought it was going to be pretty contained. I think we're moving right into sequel bait.
Oh, yes.
For a season 2.
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
I was on to something.
You were.
Look at that.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right with Vader. I don't think we're going to get a fight.
No, I don't think he comes in. I think that he's going to be basically like at the end of Rebel season 1. That it's like, oh, we got to call in the big guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Maul's more than a rival.
Amber says they were supposed to remind us about something when we got to the end. We got to predictions. Oh, that was my fan theory. I ended up bringing that up earlier.
Yeah, it was the whole cloning Palpatine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thanks for the reminder.
And I was going to say that my big thing was, does he know about the Death Star?
Yeah.
That was my other like crazy thought.
My only other thought about Vader, because I think he's coming. I mean, there's no way we don't see Vader by the end of this. I think at this point, though, he will be more of a cameo rather than a character.
Just breathing.
I am curious in a season 2, if we're going to tee up Vader as a character, I don't want him to just be there as a big punching bag or to make Maul a punching bag. I wonder with how they've set up Maul's vulnerability with his relationship with Palpatine. I think there's something interesting you can do with him and Vader, aside from just fight. Yeah,
but at the same time, there's no way Palpatine sends Vader for fear that they could become like a team or whatever.
Well, I don't think Palpatine fears that at all.
You don't think that?
No, I don't
think that Vader's a steel trap, that there's no way that he could.
At this point, yes. Yeah. But I do think that he'll listen. I think Maul will get to the point where I think here's my big prediction. I don't know. This is a big
years
for next
out
season. For next season, I think Vader will become very fascinating to Maul. Mm-hmm. And Vader's almost going to become a project for Maul. Yeah. If I can get through to this guy. In Rebels, that's it.
I was going to say, in Rebels, he does say that, like, I can't fight Vader alone.
Yeah. Well, they fight, 100%. They fight. There's no way that's not happening. They absolutely fight.
Yes.
I just wonder if maybe they can do something a little bit more. Yeah. Like, Vader's this, like you said, steel trap.
Yeah.
He's sipping the Kool-Aid pretty hard by this point. This is early Empire.
Yeah.
Right? No way you're getting through to him. Mm-hmm. But I wonder if Maul being, like, it's almost going to be like him with Ahsoka. Like, come on, if you just listen to me.
Yeah.
Like, I could show you so much. I've been there. I've been with I knew Palpatine way longer than you.
Yeah.
That's my thought. I hope if they're going to bring Vader in, make him more of a character rather than a set piece.
Or a force of nature.
Yeah. Or I'm okay with the force of nature too.
Okay.
But I want one or the other, I guess. Mm-hmm. If he's going to be there for an extended period of time, I want him to because I think there is something interesting there between Maul and Vader.
Yeah.
They could have interesting conversations that no one else can have in this universe. So I don't know. That would be what I would want from a season 2.
Gotcha.
But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. Yeah. In fact, we have a super from Michael here, $9.99.
Thank you.
Any hope of the finale being longer than 23 minutes? Same Whitwer keeps telling us how crazy it's going to be, but I just can't see everything getting wrapped up in that time frame. Maybe that'd be nice.
I was going to say, I mean, we got what, 46 minutes between the two of those?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could do something. I'm not sure.
You want a super wild prediction?
Hit us with it.
I want a show to do something like this, and it hasn't happened. I thought maybe it was going to happen in Stranger Things because
there's a false. There's like an extra episode.
Drop a surprise finale, like you get to the end of that, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, you thought that was it? Oh no,
yeah,
there's more. Because I've talked about this before on the show.
I drank that Stranger Things Kool-Aid,
dude. I did too. Yeah, I don't even like Stranger Things, and I was like, dude, it's going to happen.
I enjoyed Stranger Things even with what we got, but I was like, dude, are they onto something? Like, this is wild. Like,
right?
Because I mean, how do you put yourself on the map forever?
Yeah.
No one's ever done that.
There's no evidence this would happen in Shadow Lord. I just really want a show to do this.
Yeah.
I've heard that they can't because there's like some FTC rule or something.
Probably like
where you have to like,
because it's lying or something.
No, you have to put forward everything. I don't know. It's something to do with streaming and like TV.
Oh, well,
like
it's probably that their stuff needs to be previewed by someone.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure
degree.
they could do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like
talking about like a censor or something, just so people are aware of what's being streamed. Someone somewhere has to know what's being streamed.
I think they could still do that. I think I've heard that they have to be forthright about how many episodes are in a season.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I just like the idea of take everything, all of the tools available to you to tell your story.
Yeah.
And that would be so cool with how intentional they've been about the press of this show.
Yeah.
Coming out and being like, oh no, there's a couple more. Just wait. That'd be hype,
like
especially.
Surprises?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like couple.
I don't know what all they could really do. I feel like that it does seem pretty like things have to kind of go this way. I don't know, but maybe it'll get nuts. Palpatine shows up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Palpatine's clone shows up.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll happen, to be clear, but it's just I've always wanted a show to do this, and on May 4th, why not? Right? Yeah. From Keyman1399, been loving the content, quality, and community of your guys' channel. My goodness, what a compliment.
Thank you.
Best Star Wars channel out there. Oh my God.
Let's knock that off. Just a couple of dudes trying to make their way through YouTube.
Also, dare I say, Maul is becoming my favorite Sith.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
Would you consider Maul? I mean, he's acting like a Sith. Would you consider him a Sith?
I'd consider him a rival.
Yes.
A Reva shows up? Yes.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind some redemption for the character.
Yeah,
I'm always up.
Sister shows up to hang out with the first brother.
I'm never gonna say no to good writing, no matter who.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Character
Because I was gonna say that. I mean, Marok and the Crow are proof of that.
Yeah, nobody characters who.
Yeah, exactly. That just died immediately. Nothing outside of that they looked neat.
Yeah.
And then wow, now they actually have stuff to do.
Yeah, I think Reva's a character who could definitely earn some redemption in my eyes.
True.
Why not? Although I don't think it would make sense because I know this was probably a joke, but it's way too early. She'd be like a kid by this point, or like a teenager. Mm-hmm. 5 from Denbo. Before we wrap up here, I think Maul should be humiliated by Vader. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Make Vader the part of the mountain that Sisyphus could never get the boulder over before he fails. Yeah. And I think that would be a great way to show like Maul's plans are folly. He can't get past Vader to even get to Palpatine, so it doesn't matter. But I really like the idea that there is something there that they could play with about their relationship. That could be fun.
Question.
Hit me.
Do you think this show ends with him getting to Solo or him getting to Rebels? Because in Rebels, he shows up and he's on Malachor, right? Or is it Malachor or is it's whatever the...
Malachor 5.
Yeah, that they're all, he's trapped in the temple. Okay. Do we get to that far in his timeline? Or do you think we just get to the point where he's in charge of Crimson Dawn?
Good question. I could see Maul Shadow Lord, should it continue for an extended period of time, or even, I guess, a shorter period of time, them doing a time jump.
Yeah.
And telling the Kira story finally.
Yes.
Like being a pseudo solo sequel, but maybe that ship has sailed. I don't know. I think I need to know ultimately what the goal of the show is, and I'm still unclear about that.
Yeah. So
I don't know if we get to, my guess would be Solo. If I had to put money on it now, we get to Solo.
Gotcha.
Or at least not timeline necessarily, but like show him becoming leader of Crimson Dawn.
Oh yeah,
like
I think that
status quo.
I don't see a world where we don't have at least the last scene of the show is a time skip, because it seems like they did it in Rebels, they did it in Clone Wars. They like to do that. Yeah. So at least with him, and you see Kira, or maybe we'll see a young Kira with Dryden Voss. Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe it's possible. Yeah, because we're 9 years out, so she could still be young and with Dryden.
She doesn't get with Dryden until a couple years before Solo.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure they leave together on Corellia.
No, they don't.
That's what happens. They leave, or he leaves, and then she goes to. She gets off planet somehow.
Yeah, exactly, and then probably winds up with Crimson Dawn, right?
Yeah, but that's only a couple years before Solo.
Oh, was it 9 years? Isn't there a 9-year jump between Solo and? Oh yeah. I'm trying to think.
There's only a couple years between him leaving to join the Imperial Academy and then him meeting back up with Kira, if that, maybe like a year.
Yeah.
I think they say, actually.
So then, yeah, she has to be. Well, okay. So then maybe no. I guess then.
No,
there's no way that he can.
Unless there's a big time jump to the Solo era, which is 10 years before.
That was 9 years.
9, whatever.
Okay,
It's 10 ABY or 10 BBY is when Solo takes place.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're not seeing Kira unless they have a massive time jump in the next couple seasons.
Yeah.
But I would like that. I would like a pseudo Solo sequel if they could make that work.
Yeah.
And then you might be getting outside of the scope of the show by that point.
It's true.
So, okay, next week, Daki's dying. Maraka's dying. Maul turns Devin. Devin bleeds her lightsaber crystal. Vader shows up at the end.
Bleeds her lightsaber crystal?
Yep. Putting it down now. Putting it out there.
Wow. Because I said it earlier?
Huh?
Because I said it earlier?
Maybe put that in my mind.
Maybe
I don't know.
put that thought there? Okay, gotcha. All right. Daki dies. Rook gets separated. I think with going with Crimson Dawn, the Mandos drop off. I think Vader cameo. Marok makes it.
Marok makes it. Okay. Who kills Daki?
I think the Inquisitors kill him, but Maul uses it to his advantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if Maul is actually the one to kill him, but he makes it look like the Inquisitors.
That he somehow manipulates it in his favor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so there's the predictions for next week. I think we end the show with that kind of hero shot of Devin right side Maul.
Yeah.
On whatever new planet they are with Dryden Voss.
Yeah.
Both blades ignited. They're both red. We're moving on to the next season.
Yeah. I was going to say, he's got to pick him up in that big yacht, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The pleasure yacht.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how it's got to end.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, this was a great week. We're moving in the right direction. I'm really enjoying what MAUL Shadow Lord is putting down. I'm excited for this finale on May 4th. Mm-hmm. Guys, if you want to come back over this way on Friday at 7:15 PEST, we are streaming with Determined Focus, doing a little tier list action, some rivalries in the spirit of MAUL Shadow Lord, and we're doing it all for the Starlight Foundation. Mm-hmm. This is... it's going to be a good time.
It is.
Going to do a little, it's kind of a May the 4th-esque kind of stream. I know it's the first, but going to be doing a little bit of raising money for charity, some arguing about stupid Star Wars stuff that really we don't need to argue about, but it's going to be a good time.
Yes, because it's not for us, it's for them.
Yes. And next week, look forward to Revenge of the Fifth.
Yes.
Lightsaber duels as directed by Maul from Maul's Tearless Madness. Tearless Madness will return, more like Spring Tearless Madness will return. We have 2 more episodes. You can kind of roll Friday in there, I guess. So maybe 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back for the finale of MAUL Shadow Lord next Friday. Is that right?
Friday.
Okay, just make sure.
I think so.
I didn't remember if we confirmed that behind the scenes, but that's right.
Yes.
Next
Friday.
Yes. We'll be wrapping up MAUL Shadow Lord, and then we'll be into Mando mode.
Yes.
For the rest of the month.
Yes.
We're already here. Can you believe it? We're eating good.
It's wild to think about. A lot of Star Wars right here.
A lot of Star Wars.
Ahsoka gonna get announced finally.
I've heard whispers that maybe May the 4th there'll be something.
Some murmurs.
Maybe we'll see.
A trailer.
That'd be wild. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We will see you next time. BDTS out. I forgot that was the fast one.